I'm leaving the town right now to get on top of the mountain that you have seen at the end of the previous video, this one. So it's a better time than ever to talk about why so many Russians are not leaving Russia right now. So my take on why so many Russians are not leaving is this. So I believe there are a couple of types of people who stayed and a couple of types of people who left. And there are still, I believe, a lot of people in Russia who would want to leave, for example, or who would want things to get better, but they can't do anything. There are a lot of people who are not happy with the vector that Putin has taken, and I mean that not even in absolute amount, but in percentage. 40% at least of people are not happy with Putin. So among the people who stayed are at least two types. The ones that can't leave and the ones that don't want to. That's a completely different story. As I felt in the last 20 years of Putin's regime, he was building an army basically of followers, or like cultists almost. But he and his friends have been basically robbing people of their money and of their future. This has been happening slowly over the time of 20 years. Therefore, most people didn't really see that happening. And one of the Putin's way of control, as I have found, is this. He does something that just, he tightens the nuts, as people in Russia say. Severely decreasing the quality of life of people with his laws. People start to get mad about it, angry, and he untightens them for 50%. So he gives back about half of something, whatever he did. And in the minds of people, it feels like, oh, he is doing something good. He is decreasing. We were angry and he gave back. But people don't really realize that most of the things, or about half of the things that he took away, he's not giving back. And this is how he has been acting throughout the 20-year period. Therefore, a lot of people don't realize what's going on. And they have something of a love-hate relationship with Putin, which most of the people in Russia, a lot of people, about maybe 40%, I believe, of people in Russia are comfortable with. Maybe one of the reasons is that they have the same relationship in their families. It's getting quite cold around here. Another type of people, the ones who are afraid to leave. And I think that this one is quite a big one. These people fear being unable to leave because the government said so. Or maybe they try to leave and other people, their family, their friends will think that they are traitors, they are weaklings, and so on. And another reason why people might be afraid to leave is they think that there is nothing for them out there. No one is waiting for them, no one wants them there, and no one would offer them a job, no one would give them a helping hand, and so on and so forth. And of course we have those people who are just completely supportive of the Putin's regime. Some of them think that that USSR is no more, is one of the worst things that could have happened in their lives, and they have this sort of nostalgia for this time where everything was so simple, everything was understood, your options were clear, what you had to do was also clear, and there are quite a bit of people like this. Most of them, of course, were very young when the USSR was, and they don't really remember what it was like. USSR was built on lies and on deaths of so many people that were sent in camps, sent on wars. The ones that survived have this survival, what's it called? I believe it's called survivor paradigm, is when the person that survived thinks that they survived because of the things that they did, therefore everything that they did was right. Which is, of course, just an outright lie. Oversimplification of a complicated world we live in. Okay, my hands are becoming ice cubes right now. Whew. And you have to understand that I don't know how things were previously, but I believe that USSR is not exactly the thing that builds and improves the consciousness of people living inside of it. And Russia had, well, quite a lot of time of USSR on its head. There are people that think that everything should be just given to them. This is one type of people. The second type of people are those that understand that nothing will be given, and the government understands nothing, and we should take everything we can as quickly as we can. Of course, there were more people that understood that you could not trust the government, it was lying all the time, you have to survive. But most of the people in the USSR were just struggling to survive, and they had no time to think about their life or anything like this. And especially, how could you live another way? And these people had their kids, they passed on this way of living, and now we have what we have. That a lot of Russians are just comfortable with the way things are because they don't see how it could be different, and they don't trust anything at all. They don't trust the government, they don't trust the internet, they don't trust anyone that says, well, things can be different. They're saying, no. They come up with multiple reasons why, and they tell them like a mantra, repeat it to themselves, repeat it to their children, that you should trust no one, and you should just put on brakes, basically, at anything that is happening. And you can see that with some good initiatives that happen in Russia, and they fail because there is barely any support for it. People think, oh, this might be fake all the time. They're trying to find the worst things that they could find about a project or something. Here comes up Putin, and he sees that need in people, and he just gives them basically what they need. That all of this is fake, people are getting bought, and all this extremist bullshit, and people believe it. Another type of people are those who want to live, but they don't have the resources for it. And most of the people in Russia are so poor, and also are in such a deep debt that they see no way to buy a ticket for a crazy price of over $1,000 to leave the country, that at least they have some income. That's a definite no for these people. So there we have a wide range of people who have stayed, but I'd say quite a bit of them wanted to leave or still want to leave. This flag is the biggest flag I have seen in my life. Just look at it. These are people that were standing right there. Look, there's a person. It's yay big. Look at the flag. 1, 2, 3. At least 3 people's size in height. Oh man, the wind is so strong up here, and the night has fallen on the city of Özkaman. I noticed that Kazakhstan in English is written here with the letter Q, not with a K. Here you can see the very same bridge I filmed and showed you previously. It's time for me to go back. It's too cold. too windy and too cold at the same time. I feel my heat just escaping my body.